Hey, we got an interview relay today. Munich Ravens and Throners. Welcome to base coverage. Let's go.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm...
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to an episode of Base Coverage presented to you by, of course, our partners over at K-Noah Teamwear. I'm your host, Jamal Clay, and today we have something a little bit different. We have a interview relay coming in today. I'm going to be chopping it up with athletic director from the Munich Ravens, Mr. Sean Shelton, and the quarterback for the Throners, Gabriel Cunningham. So I wanted to get two guys on here with two new teams just to check in and see how things are going. A lot's happened since the last time, we talked on Friday with a couple signings and a couple coaches being announced. But, we'll get into that later in the week. Today it's about the interviews. And the first person I'd like to welcome to the show is Mr. Sean Shelton, former MVP of the league last year, legend in the game, GOAT in the game, played for the Raiders. So, Sean, welcome to the show, my friend. I want to just dive right into it. First time in the league last year with the Raiders. You guys made it to the playoffs before losing to the Hamburg Sea Devils. And obviously his first time in the ELF. Personally, what did you take away last year from the season you guys had that propelled you into your new role as athletic director with the Munich Ravens?
Yeah, I personally took away from the season last year that this is the future of American football in Europe. I think, I wanted to play. I wanted to be a part of it to see what the league was about from a player's perspective. And I think myself, like many people, were just curious what this new thing was, right? And, this new way of going about American football in Europe. And the thing, I came away with such a positive feeling. I really hope this turns into a sustainable league. I think it will. I'm a believer in it. And that, in part, projected me into taking this new role with the Munich Ravens and helping them get off the ground. And because I think the Munich and Bavaria have long desired and deserved to have a program such as the Munich Ravens, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
It's dope, man. And I think the Munich Ravens are definitely one of those teams that a lot of people are interested in. First of all, you guys have got off to a great start in terms of, the team that you're building with signing the head coach. But for you personally, in your role as athletic director, obviously you played in Europe for a number of times, or a number of years, excuse me, and you play with a lot of guys. Has it been helpful, this offseason, building a team throughout the connections you made playing throughout Europe so far? And have you been able to use those connections to reach out to a couple guys that maybe think about joining the flock?
I think it's a unique scenario, having been a player myself months and weeks ago, and having played against a lot of these guys, or building a reputation in terms of being a player, knowing what it's like to be a player, kind of as an import and as a local, since I spent so much time with the Raiders and embedded my life into Austria, that I think it does help, because I can empathize with people and I can relate to these players. And I think they know that, and it's a unique scenario with the Ravens, and I think a benefit in terms of talking to guys and trying to build a roster.
Yeah, man, I think those connections run deep. I think, you come in instantly with credibility, someone who's been in the shoes, has worn the cleats, has put on the helmet, and now you're in a position, front office, where you're able to evaluate and talk to certain guys. And, I think you come off the bat being real credible, not only with your play, but, who you are as a person. Obviously, we're a week into the off season, and you guys, have signed at least one player now, but I'm sure many more to come. But talk to me. Why should someone consider playing for the Ravens?
I think people, fans, players, potential coaches, whoever, should consider the Ravens, because the potential is just through the roof. I think talent in Bavaria is some of the best throughout Europe, and the quantity is staggering. Coming from Austria, was a relative small country. Bavaria has more clubs than Austria as a whole, and in those clubs, there's going to be 15 to 20 candidates to make your squad. and so it makes my job and Coach Shoop's job challenging because just the quantity of players to be evaluated. But that's a great problem to have. And Munich's not the easiest city in terms of infrastructure or anything like that, but we have an ownership and a general manager in Sebastian Stolz that are going to put us in a good way and build an infrastructure for us to flourish. And it might take a little bit of time, but like I said, the potential is higher than any organization in Europe, and it's going to be exciting to see how everything plays out.
Yeah, I think one thing that you guys could benefit from is that that Bavaria market, that Munich area, is something that really hasn't been tapped. And you guys are the privilege of being the sixth franchise in Germany, the last franchise in Germany. So you're in a place where there are guys that are waiting for opportunities, and you guys just had your tryout, and over 200 guys supposedly, from what I'm hearing, that has been there. So I think you guys are getting up to a rough start, but you're also tapping into an area that's really untapped in the ELF in terms of that part of Germany. So Friday made the first announcement. Darius Robinson signed with the Munich Ravens, first player, first import in franchise history of sign with the Ravens. Obviously, he brings experience from playing in Clemson. But also 2 years with the Russell Panthers. He's, no question, one of the top DBs in the league last year. Dominant first season. I think a lot of people avoided him the second season, which, numbers they're screwed. But congratulations on the first signing. What can we expect in terms of signings going forward with the Munich Ravens? And talk a little bit about Darius.
I'm very excited about him. And I think there'll be more to come. We've kind of been holding off on offering too many players or talking to too many players until we get this first stepping stone out of the way, and then we really look forward to building the pillars of our team throughout November. And it's going to be an exciting time. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun work, and I think we're building something special here.
Well, Sean, hey, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. It's definitely going to be the last time we chopped it up. I'm glad I had the opportunity to, talk a little bit with you. And in terms of your new role with the Ravens, and we're excited to see how this team is built. So thanks for coming on. As we move forward with our interview medley, relay, however we want to call it, we got relay. Quarterback from the Anthroners, Gabriel Cunningham, coming on next. But before we get to that, let's pay the bills and talk to let our partners over at K-Noah talk to you a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest in terms of our interview relay today, we're going to be talking with quarterback from the Anthroners, new team in the ELF in the Hungarian market. His name is Gabriel Cunningham. Played 3 seasons with the Leipzig Kings, tore it up, built up a couple of film, and then landed him right in Hungary. So, Gabriel, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
It was good.
Not much, man. I can't complain. Where you at these days?
I'm in Hungary right now.
Yeah.
Czech is forever.
What'd you say?
Czech is forever.
Hey, educate me a little bit, because I don't know how to pronounce, the first part of their name, so I always just call them the Anthroners, but I don't want to keep disrespecting like that. I feel like they deserve to be called exactly who they are. So how do I say that first part of their name?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
All right. The Forever Anthroners. All right. See, I'm learning something new every day.
They're changing the name to Hungarian Anthroners, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that to be announced. But hey, man, just a little bit about you. Obviously, you're from Alabama. How did someone like you end up at Texas Tech?
Well, man, that's my journey.
Yeah.
I was born born and raised in Alabama. About 6th grade, we moved to Alaska. My aunt, she's in the military.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then we ended up staying there until I graduated high school. Because my mom met my stepdad. They got married. Stayed there, graduated there. Then after high school, I went to this prep school
Yeah.
out in Go. Played about 3 games there. Literally sent my film everywhere, and ended up getting like a full ride to FAMU and a full ride to Alabama A&M and a preferred walk on to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
A couple other preferred walk ons to other schools, but obviously I took the one to Texas Tech because I went on a visit there, and it was great. It was, you know what I'm saying?
It was lit. That's what it was.
It was like one of the games where I think I went on. It was a Baker Mayfield game. They went against Kansas State. It was a home game, and it was like 66,000 fans.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah. So that's why I went there. Ended up going there. Yeah, that's how I got to Texas Tech.
Dope. Well, we all know, at least in the States, you know, football is, you know, different in Texas, but you know, just hearing your journey, it sounds like you're always someone that's had the grind for that opportunity. Obviously, you know, prefer walk on, which eventually, you know, got you to where you were at Texas Tech. And then when it comes to the ELF, you went to a team in the Leipzig Kings that you were their third option at quarterback because of injuries and stuff like that. But you made the most out of that opportunity with, you know, almost 1,000 total combined yards, 14 touchdowns. Obviously, you put enough film out there where it landed you an opportunity to sign with the Fajewa and Throners as their starting quarterback. You know, what did you learn last year in the league, and when did you realize that like you belonged, that you could ball in that league?
Man, I really knew I belonged in the league day one when the league started. I knew that back then, but it was just
just needed your shot.
Exactly, it's just time and opportunity. That's all it is. But
most definitely,
you know what I'm saying. Got it when I supposed to got it. You know,
most definitely.
You can't rush time. You know, so it happened, and I'm happy for it. So yeah,
most definitely. And you know, you signed with the Enthroners. Take us a little bit through, you know, the day you just recently had. It seemed like you had an adventure out there. You went through a couple cool experiences. So take us a little bit through the day you had.
Man, met the mayor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there for like 2 days, probably 3 days now. But like 2 days in, I'm meeting the mayor. Like, it's just a different
love out there.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's you know what I'm saying. There's nothing you could ever ask for. You know what I'm saying? You could ever ask for. Like, I would never think that. You know what I'm saying? I would go to sign with a team, and then that's like some Lionel Messi type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do for those guys, but they did it for me. Like, best believe they finna get like, I'm finna go crazy way long. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's gonna be perfect this season. Like, I'm ready.
Hey, that's dope, man. And it seems like already, you know, I don't know much about the organization. I was actually very intrigued when they announced that they were going to be joining the league. But it seems like, you know, the fan base, if you're getting introduced to like the mayor and going through the processes and that, it seems like the fan base is about to be wild out there. So, you know, kudos for you. And I'm interested to see the team that they're able to build and the guys that they're able to bring in and, you know, surround you with in terms of like your offense and stuff like that. And obviously you have a different skill set from it's different skill set from even we're just talking about the quarterbacks last year's. You know, obviously your speed is a threat, but you also could throw the ball. You had a good connection with Seantavius Jones last year, you know, on the Kings. What can you tell us a little bit about, you know, the organization and, you know, head coach Jamie Hill and kind of the direction they're trying to take this thing?
Oh, man. Well, like Coach Hill said, the standard is the standard. Like, he knows that, it's going to be a new league for everybody, but they know that their same standard was championship, you know. So it's not like they're gonna let off the gas now, you know. They're gonna keep pushing. Like, you know, as you've seen in the I don't know if you watched it, but the Hungarian Hungary versus France game that just had national game. Defense. Defense, you know. So you put me with a good defense. And good receivers, you know what I'm saying? Good receivers, and we good.
Yo, the crazy thing is that, you know, I'm looking at that game from afar, and I'm just thinking this is a Paris football team versus an Enthroners preview, and everyone I talk to is, you know, and there's no disrespect to any of the new teams, but the Paris football team is the most anticipated team to watch. People have been waiting to have a team in Paris since, you know, after the first season. But seeing how, you know, the national teams played when it came to, you know, the Hungarian team and the Paris team, and people are like, wow, this is a defensive battle. So, you know, you take those guys and you're able to bring them on the Enthroners. I think people might be sleeping on you guys a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah. But we'll see.
I mean, it ain't nothing new with me, so what are you gonna do no but prove them wrong?
Most definitely, and like I said, I'm interested to see how the team is built and the guys that they're bringing in. Have you had an opportunity to speak with some of either, you know, some of the homegrown guys that are going to be joining the team, or some of the guys that, you know, Jamie Hill and the coaching staff might been talking to? Have you ever chopped it up with some of those guys yet?
Some of the guys that might be signing,
or just some of the homegrown guys that maybe joining the team that either haven't been announced or we may not have know about yet. Have you had an opportunity to talk with some future teammates?
Yeah.
Hey, by that grin, you guys, I can tell you guys are ready. You guys are ready to go to work, man.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just, you know what I'm saying, they want to post me right now, but soon enough, you gonna see.
Yeah, most definitely. And obviously all respect to them and stuff like that. What's your timeline? You guys stay out in Europe? You guys stay out in Hungary? You plan on coming back to the States before you know, training camp and stuff? What's your timeline? Obviously, it's a long way, but you know, what's your timeline look like for the next couple months?
I'm here. I planned it on. I wanted to go back for Thanksgiving, but that's not gonna happen. So I'm probably just gonna stay in Europe.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. That's all we have today. Part of this interview relay we had going on. So, Gabe, it was nice to finally meet you, talk to you a little bit, chop it up. This won't be the last time, you know, we talk. I'm excited to see and get to know and learn about the Enthroners. But, you know, it looks like, you know, they're off to a fast start, not just with you, but, you know, some of the coaching staff that they're bringing in and stuff like that. So, hey, I appreciate your time, man. And, you know, we'll chop it up again soon, man. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to our interview relay. We spoke with Sean Shelton, the Munich Ravens, Gabriel Cunningham for the Enthroners. So tune in next Friday. We're going to be breaking down some more signings, some of the ones that happened from our last show up until Friday. I'm curious to see who's next. I know a lot of good teams are building their roster, and a lot of coaches have been signed. As you can see on the ticketer on the bottom, some of the latest news that's been happening, but more is to come. I think when we dive deeper into November, I have a certain date where things might have to pick up, and a lot of it revolves around what's going on in the States with, you know, the XFL draft. But we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in, and you know what I say, this won't be the last time we chop it up.
Nobody. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Animal.